Shine like the sun, fall and he'll raise you to the heavens. Oh, he'll raise you to the heavens. Become nothing and he'll turn you into everything. He'll turn you into everything. Knock and he'll open the door. Vanish and he'll make you shine. Shine like the sun. Fall and he'll raise you to the heavens. Oh, he'll raise you to the heavens. Become nothing and he'll turn you into everything. He'll turn you into everything. Oh Lord, I lay my head at your feet, at your feet. I bow to you. Oh Lord, I bow to you.
Namaste, welcome everyone to Satsang today. Beautiful gathering and very much looking forward to today's unfolding. I think this chair should be brought a little bit more, otherwise someone is going to follow, or I'm sure, if they come up in this, let me push it a little bit. Welcome also to the many friends who are joining us via live broadcasting around the world, and very much happy that you are here to join us in real time in Rishikesh. I know many people, the corresponding times are like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, so Very much appreciate your joining us, and a big welcome to Satsang. So, very good. Okay, come.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
I was just presenting myself to be shocked or something.
Short?
Yeah, that could be good
Okay.
as well. Yeah. There's just a lot going on in the head, and I know all this is a mind thing, as a mind world or something. So I really ask your help, or I come here to descend to my heart, because this is the only way I can come out of this.
You could say there's a lot going on in life, a lot going on in the world. You go outside, there's a lot going on, you can say. But it does not disturb you. Why? Why it doesn't disturb you? And then you say there's a lot going on in my head. Why does that disturb you? Everyone feels what's going on in my head is going to disturb me. Not necessarily. As you begin to recognize, because you did not send for this traffic to be passing in your head. It is by habit also, and sometimes we cannot see where the habit even began. But there is like sometimes a tsunami is in the head. And you feel that because that is so, I have to just sit it out. What can I do? You do many things, try many techniques to stop it. But I can only show you the most simple thing. Just in the same way that you could say a lot is going out on the street, and why does it not disturb you? Because you have no particular interest in it. You think it's got nothing to do with you. But you think the thoughts moving in your head have got everything to do with you. And in a way, I will show you where it might be true. It will have something to do with you if you are identified very strongly with ego or with the body, and believe the body is what I am, and the conditioning that grew up with the body or was programmed into the body, that is what I am. And it's a universal currency, this belief. Almost everyone believe it, at least for a time, that this is what I am and what can I do about it, you see? And we respond to life from this place, a male or female place or orientation, or from the place of our conditioned life. And we feel, for the most part, there's nothing beyond this. This is the scope of what I know. This is my experience. So how can I respond from another place that I don't know? You see? So this, most people believe and accept, this is who I am, this is me. What you see is what you get. But you have now been in this type of environment where we have been looking at these things, and you must have found out something. You must have found out that these thoughts, as I said before, this psychological aspect of the mind cannot intimidate your true self. It can only intimidate the idea you have of who you are. And we have experienced so many versions of ourselves. We have said, this is how I am, this is what I believe, but those beliefs change. This self-image also change. All these things are changing. Yet there is something that is constant. What is it that is constant? You see? So the things outside, they don't disturb you because you don't feel responsible for them. You don't feel attracted to it. So therefore, it does not disturb you. But the things that come in your head, and if you look at them, that thing which disturb you is always because you are perceiving it personally. Every problem is personal. It is as though, I call it now, like this dimension of ourself, with our physicality, and this earth mind and the earth body. It is as though there's a power that wants to keep you as the earth body and as the earth mind and as the earth person. That you eat only the fruits of the earth mind or the world mind. Your aspirations are only for the earth fruits and not for your heavenly being. I'm going to use these terms for a moment. And this, when you begin to aspire or to sense that there's a way beyond or above this level of looking or seeing or living, it's as though some force is pulling you back. No, stay here in this earth body. You're an earthman. You're of the earth and you will die of the earth and in the earth, you see. But you are discovering something more than that. That is not merely a realm of flesh and blood and bones, but of spirit and of space and peace and wisdom and joy, which is your true attributes and fragrance. And then somehow a battle begin almost. Something is reaching for the higher in yourself, and something is trying to keep you in the lower regions, to be only concerned about physical or material things, which have their place, and nothing wrong with them in themselves. But your neediness, or the meaning they hold for you, will determine their hold on you at the same time. So with these things, you say lots of thoughts are going on. But at a certain point, your relationship to these thoughts will change. They will become insignificant. When they become insignificant, they'll be similar to your thoughts about what's happening outside. They will not trouble you. When you move beyond their reach, what is their reach? What I refer to as your heart or your heavenly space or dimension. It is all here. The earths and the heavens and the beyond are all here. Life is maybe peeling away the layers, the lower layers, the outer layers, to come to the core. How long will it take and how much effort is required? Well, I have found that because it is always here, my attitude is not to wait for another year or another 6 months or 2 years. So if it is here, why can't I experience it? That's more an immediate question. That's a truth question, not merely a philosophical question, you see. So if that urge is arising in you, I want to find it. And is it possible to find it today? I would say, well, let's get started. Let's take a look. All the things you speak about, your thoughts and feelings, they are not consistent. They come and go, ephemeral, momentary. Sometimes your concern about the thought lives longer than the appearance of the thought. The thought arises and quickly is gone. But your obsession with it continues and perpetuates a false existence about it. No? So how to go about it? You know, if you observe, that all these things that you see and experience and taste or imagine, they're like clouds floating by. in this infinite space of being, which you call your mind or yourself. They're coming and going. And mostly we are caught up in the story of what you're seeing, which is your relationship to what you are perceiving. If you don't identify and only observe, just observe, you will come to see that all that you're observing is not fixed. It's just come and going. Also, your moods are changing about it. This is also observable. In fact, everything that exists in your world that you perceive or hear about or think about or imagine is perceived from a deeper place, which has no story. It has no history. It is not bound in time. Are you aware of this or not?
I guess yes.
You guess. Why guess?
Because sometimes you talk about insights, and there's a lot of things coming as insights from.
Insights are also perceived.
Yes, then I perceive them.
Even insights are also perceived, isn't it?
Yes.
In front of this, all things, all functions are perceived. But this, the presence to which they report, can this be perceived? If we can engage your inner attention in this question, then the rest is going to be a real delight for you. If you can see that, wait, behind the moving show, behind this theater of consciousness, where even the functioning of perception is perceived. Who is here? What is here? Because all that you see belongs to time. We touched on this yesterday. All that you see, all that you remember, all you imagine belongs to time. Except that one that perceives time as also phenomenal. Time is also an appearance. Time is also concept, sensation. Have I gone too far, too quickly? Okay. Follow my words. They're also your truth. All the things. Why does something trouble you? Because you have interest in it. It means something to you. You value it, or you want something different. You see? And who is this one who wants it to be different also? You may practice spirituality for a very, very long time, but eventually you will come to these questions. Because you have the power, the capacity to contemplate subtle things. And as subtle as they can come, you find you are subtler still. And at some point, you look out again at the things that would concern you a few moments ago, and they vanish. They have no power. If you hold to the sense of person, your problems will only be solved temporarily. If you discover, as I hope you will, your inner being, problems will be equally ephemeral. Of course, there are things to do in life, in our dynamic life. It is also part of the great show. It has to be there. But the impact of that life will be largely due to your involvement, you consciousness. When I say you, I'm speaking as you consciousness, not you person. The person does not possess consciousness. The person is itself an expression of consciousness. It is not the keeper of consciousness or the director or manipulator of consciousness. It itself is only the expression of consciousness. You are more than person. A person is also consciousness, but a limited form of consciousness. Whereas in truth, consciousness is unlimited. You must be searching for your unlimitedness. You are going to be suffering from your limitedness. You see. And all of this story does not end in any part of this. In all of this, everything is helping you. Clues are put. Why clues and not the full thing? The full thing is always here, but why clues? Because you must work a little to exercise your discerning ability, to develop spiritual muscle, to win yourself back from the delusion of egotism. This is the true journey of human beings. Of course, mind also invites you to other options, other version. Once we have the feeling of autonomy, of personhood, we want to have our own show. We want to do your own thing. Life allows that. Even sometimes encourages, it seems, that through the mind. So we'll try out to see if our local version works better than the cosmic version. You see? And so we try and push. And we're getting somewhere and building up. And then crash. And this crash is good. This crash is also blessing, because without crashing, we don't evolve truly. So I'm using your question first just to lay down just some fundamental understanding. Thereafter you must use, because you have had enough guidance to make use of it. But maybe you want it to be done for you. But this part you must exercise your own power, your own true ability, and transcend, these mind attacks, if you want to call it. If you don't, and then after 6 years you're still saying, yes, my mind, you'll see your energy is gone. Nobody wants to listen to you. They see you coming and they move away. So we know his story. Yeah, it's a failure story. We don't want. Yes, after 6 years, Amuji, how can I go past my mind? Why you would say that when your being is so tremendous? So this advice has come, and it is the most simple. I say this is a tree that bears immediate fruit. Follow. I'm not giving you piles and piles of homework. Go and study step 1, step 35, step 117. No, I say simply start here. None of this, the world, the universe, cannot exist without your perceiving of it. If you are not here, where's the universe for you? You don't exist. What universe? So you must be here, you see, to perceive even God. You must be here. Otherwise, what is all about? Nothing. You don't exist. So your existence is most important. And you exist as what do you exist? I say consciousness, the ability to perceive, to discern, to choose, at least partially, this power you have, to reflect, to meditate, to contemplate, to transcend, all this power you have. Your parents did not give you that. It is inherent in consciousness. So with this toolkit, this organic toolkit, and with the password, you came into existence to experience existence in form. And you must make your way to the summit. You must move out of the forest of delusion, illusion, to come home again, clear, open, free. Your divine nature. But for a while, powerful forces will be working to keep you earthbound, worldbound. And forces will arise within you to transcend the realm of egoic and psychological thinking and to come back into your true power. And you must have come to Satsang because this urge inside you is alive. At least to some extent, it is alive inside you. If you were studying to do from scratch to learn some mechanic, to be a car mechanic, after 3 months, you will learn some things. Your boss will come, show me what you can do. Oh yes, I can change tires, I can do an oil change. You see, I can replace the spark plugs or something like that. I can adjust the handbrake, I can, you know something. So after being with me for so long, what have you found?
Incredible freedom. This is what I'm here for.
No, but I ask you, what have you found, not what you're here for? What have you discovered that you can say, this I have understood in my being. I don't need to put more energy on that, Muji. That is already conquered ground. But this is unconquered ground. What have you understood? You see?
I just understood self.
Hmm?
I could only see self, that's all. I could only be self.
But then if you can only be self, how is the self concerned about this spaghetti mind?
Because it wants to eat spaghetti.
When the self wants to eat spaghetti, if you want to eat spaghetti, then you will develop strong taste for spaghetti and you won't come to satsang.
In this case, it's a different spaghetti, Muji.
What spaghetti you are eating?
The attacks spaghetti. So this one I can only shop.
I am told if I must stay away from spaghetti, it is full of gluten. I can only eat gluten-free spaghetti. Then they tell me I also must stay away from carbohydrate. So I have to leave spaghetti altogether. You have tolerance for gluten and for...
Muji, I'm talking a bit about violence and anger. And
Yes, I know, it's the same thing I'm talking. These things, when they come into you in the mind, it is if you watch, If you ask who is being attacked by these thoughts, please, and it goes for everybody. This is very universal. Please listen. If you find who is being attacked, really don't assume, because the first response, the reflex response, is often, well, it's for me. I mean, why? It's such a silly question. Who? I am the one. You see? That's the first thing. Then deeper down you ask, yes, but you who? What? When you say I, what are you referring to as I? Is it the body that is saying, I am being attacked? And really be honest, really look. Is it the body that is being attacked? Or the body is showing the symptoms or something? But is the body saying, please, stop these mind attacks? You must find out, is it the body? It is not the body. Who is being attacked? Just be very quiet and understand your question, because you must identify the one who is being attacked.
Person. Just the person is attacked. Same thing. She says ego.
You see, the thing is that you have learned this, you see, but you have not conquered it. You have learned the right answer. You will pass the written test, but you must pass the actual test. You must look. When you say, who is really being, try and identify, you say person. Find the person. Catch hold of the person then. This is a good thing. Don't assume, well, yes, okay, I know it's not there because Ramana Maharshi say this, because Papaji say this, because Muji say. No, you must find it for yourself to see. Because what is happening is, because you can feel the effect of the attack, we just automatically feel, well, that's the evidence of its reality. That must be true because I can feel it. I said, okay, we are not arguing against this. I'm just asking you, please look for the one who is suffering it. And the mind is saying, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point? We already said it's you. Yeah, but you who? And because of this, many people, the mind already is beating you, you see. Don't waste time with this guy. He's not telling you the thing, he's still asking you. I mean, it's obvious. He's asking you obvious question. Come, let's go. Chai shop. Come. He's going to tell you. You have to listen and say, well, hang on a second. No. There must be. Let's try and identify this sufferer, because perhaps I'm just saying it's me. And what is the substance of me? What is your conception of when you say me? What are you referring to? And this sounds like a strange question, because nobody asked this question. Nobody is asking this question. Not in any school or church or university or workplace. Nobody is asking you, but who are you? It's enough to say, I am John Brown, I'm 32 years old, I study this place. Oh, good. How much experience? 3 years experience doing this, and I had work experience in Afghanistan, and blah, 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 blah. Oh, okay. What are you doing on Monday? Show up. They don't want to know more. You never go for a job and, so tell me about yourself. I am John Brown, I'm 36 years old. And yes, but who really are you? Nobody's going to ask. So what do you mean, sir? What do you mean, who really am I? Oh, you tell me about your body and what you have done and so on. But you yourself, who are you? He said, but I have shown up for an engineering job. No, what kind of question is? Nobody's going to ask you that. I am asking you this. You say I. Behind every thought and every statement you speak, it is from or for your I. And yet no one understands what is I. We assume it is my body. I've got a passport, birth certificate, enough proof. But then you say, I want to find the highest truth. Where did this concept of the highest truth come from? Why are you not enough as you are? Because the I that you are functioning, as I said yesterday, God says, I am. The devil also says, I am. You are also feeling, I am. Mosquito also feels, I am. Is it the same, I am? Are they the same? When you say, I am, what are you referring to as I? This really should be our first lessons in life. Because if you learn everything, but you don't know who the learner is, how can your knowledge be said to be authentic when the knower of knowledge you don't know? So you have to start there. Are you sleeping?
Not yet. No, I'm not sleeping. I'm totally here again.
Who is totally here? If you are totally here, your mind has no power. This psychological, earthbound mind has no power to create destruction in you like that. It is just too feeble. It's too silly to draw so much of your attention. You give in too easily to its whims. You feel, oh, something, shh, and say, oh, my mind again. Oh. And that gives more mind, more muscle to mind. But if you say, okay, suppose you were to meet a friend of yours, and you have 15 minutes to be together. Okay? You had 15 minutes to be together, and the only place you can meet is in a very busy restaurant. Lots of noise, and there's a wedding party going on, and lots of noise and music, and it's the only 15 minutes you have. Could you be intimate together? Could you share intimately? Could you feel each other in such an environment? Could you?
Yes.
Yes. Why? Because it becomes your heart's real desire. Nothing can enter that. You're single-minded. Nothing can enter that. In fact, the whole party will simply vanish. And you will be there with your beloved, in this moment. Because you long for this. As you become more adjusted, more aware of yourself, these things will not trouble you. You will hardly notice them. You will come back into your natural power. You see? It will be so natural, it will not feel like power. Is the problem still there? The problem is still the same intensity at the moment?
No, there's no intensity, but there's also a master guidance.
There's what?
A master guidance.
Uh-huh.
That there is a openness somewhere that allows souls to come in.
Where does source come in from?
Souls to come in.
Souls.
Yeah,
Souls?
yeah.
From where they come? What do you mean, souls to come in? What do you mean by that?
Well, as I'm looking at you, I see you are there, and I know that you're there. But I'm also seeing some clothes, like with all respect, Moji, like the Pope.
You see what?
The clothes like a priest, or not a priest, the Pope would say.
Pope.
Yes.
Pope is there. It's nice to have the Pope in Satsang.
I totally agree with that as well. But that's the thing, because to me, I perceive in this way.
These things are not important. These are small things. You should disregard them. Keep your mind empty.
Yes,
Don't give so much importance to small things, because when will you be free of them?
that's right.
There's a whole queue of small things waiting to get on the stage of your mind and to get your attention. And so just disregard, that's nothing at all. In a short time, you'll feel the natural space of being again, and you'll see you've made a higher choice in just. While you're interested in something, you see, it's like it takes on a life. It's like you're still open for business. You're still
Okay.
open for business, you see. It's like you go on the street and somebody comes to beg you, sorry, you get it, and okay, you give, and then they tell the other ones, look, he's giving, go. And then everybody comes, like this. The thoughts are a bit like that. Look, this one is open for business, yeah? Come, everybody come. More thoughts are going to keep coming.
It's always the same perception.
Yeah.
And when I say Pope, it's just the holiness that I'm perceiving, probably. I don't know whoever understands what and what, but this is.
Yes. Okay.
But I don't want to be with okay. I want to get.
Yes,
the
you
freedom.
are quite okay with okay. When you're not okay with okay, I will perceive you in a different way. You speak as one who has time. I have time. Okay. When you're not okay, when you've had enough of okay, then you will be ready for something magnificent.
Is there anything the site can do, or I can do, to get less time?
It's not a question of less time. It's a question of the urge that is within you, you know. Maybe there is some too much indulgence in a certain kind of way, and it creates a kind of heaviness or a kind of resistance or something. So I would just say to you, keep being here, keep being present, come to the front, and just be very open, and reduce that kind of psychic cholesterol. And then somehow you find, your mind begins to work much better, much more clear. Sometimes we do a simple exercise of just again recognizing and being one with the beingness, after which the mind is made really passive, and then it understands what I'm saying very easily without any struggle, because the impediment is gone. Just being here in this energy field of satsang, already somehow the lower forces, they are pushed aside. You don't even do it physically, just by being here. And the mind becomes truly open in a good way. And you begin again now to, yes, like water being poured into water. You see? But as long as the static of the build-up of this inner noise and personhood is there, it is like water being poured into oil, and something is not quite happening. But don't worry about that. That's not the best example. Your fact of you being here is good enough. Stay with it. Sometimes we come like this, and I don't know what the background to much of our attention has been, but maybe for a while you have to just be defrosting from this kind of way of thinking, and gradually you come into a more natural state where these things flow much more smoothly for you. And if you stay with it at a certain point, the effort simply quietly leave, and you're left as you are. Because the self is not trying to be the self, it simply is. The one who is trying is the self as consciousness has created a self-portrait as a person and has been living in this self-portrait as a person and is beginning to outgrow this person because of its limitation, its hardship, its too much mentalizing or so on, and is yearning for greater space, for more openness. Is yearning for home in some way. And that provides the aspiration and the grace and the power to expand in consciousness, you can say, or to be free from the grip of psychological suffering. If truth is what you are searching for, then I'm very happy because there's nothing you can do for it. It is already perfect in itself. All that needs to happen is that a recognition needs to take place. And Satsang is only to unveil that or to trigger that recognition, whereby you can see, yes, you have completely lightened up from this heavy, heavy cloak of personhood and back in your natural state. That's all. Okay. I'll leave it there now for now. Quiet, stay like I advise you, and sit and just be open and be, yes?
Yes, I just want to say one last thing. Whoever that I have to apologize, I apologize now. And that's not for anyone in this room, I hope.
What was it?
I was just saying apologies to the world, that's all.
Okay.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, thank you. Who is from there? Somebody? You can come? Okay. Go this way. Go that way. The microphone is there.
Thank you. My first time here with you.
Welcome.
What's difficult for me now, after about 13 years of meditating and dealing very or many hours in the day with mindfulness.
Yeah.
This is my main thing because I had enough of suffering, mental suffering. And I mean PTSD, post-trauma from Holocaust, and 3 children that I'm the second generation, and my children, third generation, still mental suffering. And as a mother, my question is, as a mother, on the one hand, I know that my mind creating the way I feel things,
Yes.
okay?
Yeah.
On the other mind, I have to be responsible. And when I see one of my children suffering, not because just I think things are moving in the bad direction, sometimes. But when I see and really things are not moving correct, it's hard to say because everything I say, it's not true. But sometimes, you know, like things like choosing something with it, which which is not going to be good. And I, as a mother, I suffer to see them suffering.
Yes, yeah. I go back to the point where you say, or did you say, that I see everything that I say is not true? Is that true?
It's not like when I say I see that they choose something that is incorrect. It's oh, you know what's correct or not. But there are things that
No, I wanted to know if that statement is as I have heard it, like at some point you come to see that everything you say, and in fact everything you think is not true, quite.
Yeah, my thoughts.
Did you understand it in the sense that, because if you're really meant by that, you know, everything you say is as though the mind wants to make that like it's something, but actually it's not, it doesn't hold true constantly.
Yeah.
It's always changing.
Yeah, because the thoughts are always changing, and the thoughts are existing, but not their content.
Yes.
I feel it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as a mother, although I know this, I suffer when they suffer, and I'm afraid that if I, when I meditate,
Yeah.
I'm coming to a place which I don't feel, which I don't suffer. Okay.
When you are meditating, are
Yes.
you a mother?
No.
Okay.
No, there is a moment that the question you ask, do you ask the question? I ask the question, who am I? And
Yeah.
right afterwards, I don't know.
Yes. So afterwards, in this I don't know state, are you happy? Are you feel
Yeah.
that this is, you're in your truth?
Yes.
Good. Okay.
But then I'm in life and I have to be, here's the line that I don't know to draw between being
Okay.
responsible and being like, I'm in my la la land, in my really truth.
Yeah, yes.
You understand me?
Yes, yes. So you don't want it to be two different rooms. The room of truth, and then there's the world where you have to be a mother or something. It has to be that somehow, if the truth is true, it must be there behind the motherhood, the mothering also,
Yeah.
isn't it? It must be there. It cannot be so different. Because people say, yes, when I'm in my meditation space and I see that I'm everything is just one and this, but then I have to go and be a mother.
Yes.
And it's as though that's a different room. That I have to come out of my being to be that, where I disagree with that.
I know that that meditation has to be in life, not just in the cushion. Okay. The line it's difficult for me to draw is between being responsible and understanding what I can change and what I cannot change.
Yes.
What is really my responsibility
Yes.
and what I have to
The
live.
reason why the reason why this happens is because you still identify with yourself as a person, and somehow you feel that the person must make their own way. They must do something and so on. Whereas in the real truth is that one simply sees from a much broader base that the consciousness is very much here. You are that. And you don't have the desire, oh, this must happen, I want this to happen, and so on. You're more at one with life. You're moving at one with life. There's a trust there. And not just a blind trust, because when we trust and we somehow you develop a sensitivity that you are not separate from the life. You are the life itself. And you see that things may look like they're going to hit the wall, and then they move a different direction. You see it. Because only when you see that can you let go of the steering wheel of life. Very often the mind is created like a separation. Like there's my spiritual life, and there's my secular life, there's my daily life. And the two, how can I get balance between my spiritual life and my daily life? I said, no, it's one. Learn how does the the spiritual life you call has got to enter into. This is your way in which you say the God enters through the door of yourself and light comes into the world. It's not separate. This world cannot exist independent of the source from which it emanates. This is very, very true. Can I just put you on pause for 1 second? I want to say something that's coming that's very relevant to this. Because it reminds me of very, very profound statements that were made by a great, great master of this country, Adi Shankar. He said something. He said, the world does not exist. And all the pundits and the spiritual religious groups and so on, they said, yes, we agree. Principle. The world doesn't exist. Brahman alone exists. Yeah. Brahman, the absolute, alone exists. Third statement, Brahman is the world. Oh? World does not exist. Brahman, the absolute consciousness, alone exists. Brahman is the world. Then it was troubling. We cannot bring your statements together. There seems to be a contradiction here, Swamiji. What is the meaning? And Ramana Maharshi, he expounded this also very beautifully. He said, the world as a separate entity unto itself does not exist. Brahman, the absolute truth, alone exists. It is this absolute Brahman itself that is expressing itself as the world also. The world does not exist independent of Brahman. The world does not exist independent of consciousness. It is the show of consciousness. It is the expression, the demonstration, the objectivization of consciousness. And this is why I'm saying it pertains to what you're saying. In meditation, you say, I am not a mother in meditation. Just in the same way, someone calls you sister, another one calls you mother, one calls you auntie, one calls you friend, one calls you employee, one calls you cousin. And you respond to each of these calls in the appropriate way. Yet something knows, I'm none of these things. What is an uncle? What is auntie? You see, it is a role, and we feel a sense of responsibility and so on through this role, and we respond appropriately. But underlying consciousness tells you, but I'm none of these things. An auntie is not what I am. A daughter is not what I am. A cousin is not what I am. A mother is not what I am. Father is not what I am. I am consciousness. Of course, you don't proclaim this. Your children will be hurt. She's saying, I'm not my mother. So this is something first you have to digest in the privacy of your own introspection. You know this, yet outwardly, you're still mothering. You're still cousining. You're still daughtering. You're still all these things that happen. But internally, there's a serenity and an unshaped consciousness. In the same way, when you have to do whatever roles you have to do, you don't have to stop and say, okay, now they say mother, okay, yes, hello, darling. No. This one calls, hello, wife, wife. Hello, my love. You don't have to do this. Something spontaneously is responding to the needs of the moment without any preparation. This is the marvelousness of consciousness. However, through our conditioning in the life, we are introduced to this concept that we must make our life work. It is up to you who do it. You must dream and push and fulfill your dreams and so on, which I think it is meant to be much more playful than we have taken it. And so somehow it is as though I cannot be both. I cannot be the consciousness and be mother to my children, because as a mother, I tend to worry and to see that they're okay and to try and advise them to do the right things. And sometimes the children is trying to say, can you give me more space to kind of find out for myself and to stop me making mistakes which I have to make for myself or whatever it is. So it is not easy to classify or to, you see. In life, I speak from experience also. Yes, you have to make a certain amount of plans. We had to make some preparations to come to India. But how each day unfolds is totally left to itself. Don't try to control. Of course, some things is a balance between being organized or structure, because at one time I was very much avoiding structure. And then I came to see that structure can support the spontaneity. There can be a harmony there. So some structure is there, but still there's a wonderful freedom at the same time. Who does it? Well, life does it. Trust in your consciousness. And sometimes you have to hold your breath a little bit and watch something just find its own way also. Then you say, but how will I know when to say stop? Well, you won't know. You will just say stop. You see, this is how it is. We want to know before. We want to know before. We are so attached to knowing how to live. That is the worst concept. Knowing how to live. You make a complete mess. You are life unfolding. Yeah, that is true. That is freedom. Of course, some conditioning, some ethics are good along the way. But sometimes we overdo. I see even in some sports which are completely the God's way of introducing a no-mind activity. Sometimes they're asking people playing ping pong. So what was your technique? What did you do? And then the people are answering, well, I saw that he's a bit weak on the left hand. And it's not like that. In the reality, we just play. We play. And somehow your dexterity, your movements just grow into a kind of maturing. And it just becomes automatic. It becomes no mind. The minute you begin to think, you become clumsy, over controlling, and then your own life stops flowing with the beauty and the grace that you have in your meditative state. In the meditative state, you are completely open, but mind says, yeah, now end of meditation, time for mother. And you say, wait, okay, now how do I bring these two states together? And immediately you create an I to try and balance two states when this I doesn't even exist.
Okay, this pose really helped me to be more specific.
Yeah.
Because
To be more specific.
in my question.
Yes.
Like,
Okay. Yes.
I think that in daily life,
Yes. It's okay.
I advanced from being very controlling to let them, my children. My question is now, I'm here in India for 10 days, and a night before happened what happens sometimes, that at night I have these nightmares. But you know, in daily life, when I'm awake, it's okay, I can manage. But at life, and it was really, really hard. Like, I sleep with a roommate, and after, I don't know, half an hour, she woke me up because I shouted. And so my suffering is not just knowing the difference between meditation and daily life. It's really something, suffering inside, huge amount of sadness or fear, these kind of things, not just to know what to say or what to do or what to plan. Logically, I know, but you know, it's inside me. It's not even that I get anger when I see something that I don't want. I can step aside and look at my anger, but at night I really cannot do anything, and it's
You will be here each day for those 10
yes,
days?
not 10 days, but 8 days.
8 days.
Yeah.
It will be good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who can ask for more?
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Somebody here who they come first, then me.
Salutations, Morjiti. Thank you for
Thank you.
receiving my question.
Thank you.
I was about to jump into my own grave, and you murdered me. You pushed me in. How beautiful! You just answered a lot of things which were on my mind, especially the questions of spontaneity. Ramana
So
Maharshi,
the question about?
to be spontaneous.
Spontaneous, yes.
And in my mind, I mean, I've done yoga for nearly 30, 35 years. Now I'm becoming the Mahabhogi. Actually, Ramana Maharshi, I think, said you're in the mouth of the tiger already. And in my mind, I had the question as well with interpretation of Nisargadatta, where he said everything is programmed. And you mentioned the word program in the very beginning, and it really stuck with me. And that created a lot of problems in me. It sounded so mechanic.
Yes.
But then you just answered, and that was so beautiful. Tears came in my eyes, where you said, consciousness really lets you flow. And I'm driving a scooter going in, to Rishikesh, always in this traffic. And if you let it flow, you can drive. It just happens. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's absolutely magic.
Yes.
Nothing happens.
Yes.
If I start thinking.
Sometimes something happens.
Yeah. Well, with me,
But
it
in the
didn't.
meantime,
I'm still here. But what happened is, I took it as an example. I'm in my life again. I'm taking a really stringent step now, and just let it all flow. So jumping in my grave, hopefully let the ego totally go.
Yeah.
And what you answered, that was just so beautiful. It's really, so I want to thank you for that.
Very good, very good. In fact, in your natural state, the rigidity of too much thinking life, that falls away.
It's gone.
Completely naturally, and you're in this very no mind state. If you have to use your mind for practical functioning, you use it very well. It's fine. But then when it turns to become more psychological, something just drops that. It will not. You see.
Yeah.
The life is too beautiful to use your mind.
Mahabhogi.
Yes, you have to use your mind for all this. What am I going to do tomorrow? What do you want to wear? What do you want to have for breakfast tomorrow? I don't even know what I want now. You see, it's like it's just habits,
Yeah.
And you use a beautiful example of riding in India. I remember from Tiruvannamalai days. In the West, with so many rules, you must stop here and yeah. Here, even sometimes the traffic lights we don't follow. Sure, people are going, and you get your hips moving as well on the bike.
Yeah.
And it's and you don't know who's going to come out. Sometimes, just a horse comes out into the road, or a cow just decides to lie down, or something like that. And somehow it is all just so beautiful.
Not only this, you really
enjoyable.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
We enjoy.
So the really key word for me was when you said consciousness knows what to do.
Yes.
That came home to me, and it gave me some trust.
Yes.
That was pushing me into the grave. So that was beautiful. Thank you so much.
Very good. Very good. Very good. May we experience what we are hearing in the shortest possible time. Come to that. The freedom of being. The total freedom, the joy of being. Then you start to see, people introduce too much concepts and please just be quiet. It's okay. Let it unfold. Nothing is going to unfold more beautifully and harmoniously than the consciousness unfolding by itself. Even if you had the supreme power to design, to design the life that you think is the best thing you could do for yourself, it will not come anywhere close to the life that unfolds by itself. And our lives are unfolding, but the minds keep on interpreting it to suit its own ways. Sometimes the people come and they come to an awakening and they say, oh, my life has suddenly become beautiful and God is blessing me. You're always being blessed, but you're not seeing it. What happens is that you begin to see it. And say, oh my God, my life has suddenly become beautiful. It was always there, but you did not see it. Your eyes of this cataract of false identity has been peeled away, and you can see now how your life flows. It's so harmonious, so happy, also happy. People say, why are you so happy? I didn't even know why. I don't know, I'm just here. But it is like that. Our natural state is like that. And it's not a fairy tale. It's not, oh, everything is so wonderful and all the flowers are so pink. No, we don't want the pink world. It can be whatever it is. It's not that you don't see when someone is hurt, you feel nothing, you feel happiness. No, you feel hurt inside your happiness. Sometimes because many things, a lot of chaos, you don't feel it. No, you feel it inside your peace. And with fresh eyes, good eyes, like this. Next.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Muji.
Hi.
I like so many people here, have so many questions I would like to ask you about, but they're always easier to ask in my mind when I'm sitting down. I don't have to stand up and give a voice to them. But one question just about what you're saying now is when I was a child, I felt really naturally happy as well. And
Yes.
actually, even into high school, I was walking around feeling very peaceful and full of joy without having reasons or even without worrying about why was it so. And I'm just wondering about the states that I've walked through in life to arrive at the place that I am now. Mm-hmm. I've become a householder, and though I don't have a partner, I have my family, my mother and father who I take care of. And I feel like my state is more distracted, and there are more thoughts in my mind. So I'm wondering how to understand this reversal, this sort of change that's taken place. It's difficult to imagine that it could be that I was in a place where life was simpler and easier to understand, and then somehow I've fallen in fortune, and now I'm full of distractions. And how could it be that I saw more and now see less? It's so strange.
There are some eyes even behind and beyond those eyes that can see and look at the sense of what you call those fortunate years, more carefree, more spontaneous, more intuitive, very happy. And then now this period also that comes. What does it bring that is good? It must bring something that you can see. Well, at least now I am more contemplative about these things. Perhaps I'm romanticizing too much those early years because they may have had their own difficulties too. That now I'm in a different season in my life, and I ponder more deeply about things. It is important not to regret your life too much, but to see where is this river flowing, and you see, because these things are still a little bit on the screen of consciousness. Your life before, your life even now, as it is being portrayed as existence, and what is it that's looking and reviewing or surveying what you're seeing? Where are you looking from? This is the quintessential discovery. Not just who the person was then and who the person appears to be now, but who or what is observing this, to put your attention in here. and really stay with this question. This question is worth 1,000 pints, because it is not about phenomenality, which is always shifting. It is about the nominal, the unchanging. There's a space where there's a looking out from this space. And what is here? This is the most intimate invitation for me. What has gone on before, even that is not necessarily accurate. It still had to pass through the interpreting mind. And what is here now also is being held up to the interpreting mind. But what is looking from here that is not interpreting, but it just looks? If you hear the question properly, it's inviting the attention back towards a source place. And I would like to see how you use this question. What is it that is here that sees and says, when I was a child, when I was a teenager, when I reached my 20s, when I was middle-aged? You see? Can it say, when I was an old man? No. Because after old man, season finish for that flow. What is watching this? Does it have any age?
When I arrived yesterday, I felt so much solace it being here and gratitude.
Yes.
Because you were creating a space and conducting a conversation that was pertaining to things that are so important to me. So I felt so gratitude, so happy to
Yes.
be here. And
This.
I was wanting to ask. Because last night in my room, I was realizing that your conversation and your description of consciousness is so well laid out that I recognized that my mind was actually pretending to understand exactly all that you were talking about and posing a facade of the great, clear description that you've presented.
Yes. What is watching the mind's pretending?
Yes, that's definitely the important thing.
Because in what time zone is that? This is everybody's question now. Everybody's question. The fact goes before the introspection, in fact. The fact goes before the answer. The fact is, it is perceived. You follow or not? These things are perceived. That's the fact. So if they are perceived, you see, the perceiver must not be in the bubble of the object of perception. We follow this? Where are you and who are you, or what is that from where this perceiving is that perceives the sense of childhood, young person, teenager, watching that. Does this have any category? This is not speculative question, isn't it? Yeah. We don't need to imagine. Yeah? From your being you can see. What is here then? And does it move about? Does it move about this space from where life is seen? That even seeing is seen. Just like at the moment I'm standing up before the microphone, my mind is coming up with these thoughts, What is watching all of that? It is being watched. This is a fact that we rarely acknowledge. Who is watching? Can the watcher be watched? Just this interned attention, and what happened? What is happening? Maybe your mind is beginning to whoa, don't want. Let's go. It's time for a wee. Maybe. What time is it? It's a bit hot in here. Maybe sometime mind behave like this. But the question lives. You have the ability to see everything. Even a reaction happens. That reaction is also seen. It occurs in the dimension of being. Even if something happened that is a millionth of a second, it is seen without any effort. It is perceived without any effort by that which is unmoving. Look into that. Does it lack anything? Does it want anything? Is it growing towards anything? This is direct experience, see? Something may say, yes, but there's nothing going on there, but I don't want my life to be about that, I definitely want something to be happening. Well, actually, everything that's happening is by the sponsorship of this. This is the cause of all. But itself is uncaused. Can you see? All activities are happening. There's not a conflict. There is not a conflict between the moving and the unmoving. In a way, you can say, I am both. Therefore, you may hear people in Satsang saying, yes, you have the sense I'm doing something, but at the same time not doing. I'm walking, but not walking. Thinking, yet not thinking. Laughing, but not laughing. The logical mind might say, but what are you talking? How can you be laughing and not laughing? Come on. That's the kind of shallowness of mind. But you understand something deeper. That, the laughing, the doing seems to be in my dynamic expression. There is doing, and sometimes very dynamic, very, whoa. But inside, there's not a doer there. There's no doing. And these activities seem to be going on by themselves. Can you confirm or not? You see, this is what to pay attention to, rather than yesterday while I was walking along Ganga. No, this is not. You'll soon forget this in a few minutes. I was sitting in the cave on top of Himalaya. No. This is your stories, but you. The mind says, but who are you without your story? Come on, I want to be an interesting person. Which means that other people find me interesting. Because you cannot be interesting without other people saying, oh, she's interesting. And if you want to be an interesting person and somebody find you uninteresting and quite dull, you are completely destroyed. If you set such shallow goals, stay as the awareness. It is already here. The most undervalued thing in the human kingdom, and yet it is our essential being. Who are we? We feel that our self as person carries a greater weight of reality than awareness itself. What is the value of awareness? It has no value. To whom will it have value? Can I spend it in the shop? So if you have such a mind that is looking for things, looking for power, looking for possessions, and it will not appeal to you unless it is your prarabdha, if it is your natural karma, to express these things in life, in the theater of life, where each playing some role. Even if you think you're not playing a role, it's not up to you. A role somehow is being played, and it's interwoven into everything else. But internally, there's a serenity. You're uncategorized, unbound. When? When is a good time for you? Next month? What date you would like to be free? What season? Maybe on your birthday, a good time? Huh? Do these things have any meaning at all? And you can look from now. I'm only pointing you what is here, behind the moving screen, the moving scenes of life, of your own thought, activity, of memory, of projections about future and past and so on. What is it that does not belong to any category of time? Are you not the one seeing from this place? Or is our value only for the concrete things of the life? If we are fascinated only by the elemental consciousness, consciousness in its elemental portrait, as the elements and the interplay of elements that produces this tangible, physical, material world, then at least know and confirm. All this, it is fine. Why not enjoy? It is consciousness also. But to aspire for what is impermanent, what is constantly changing, is to miss your chance at discovering that which is timeless. That is your sentient call. It's a question of whether we are at that stage, that capacity within ourselves, whereby this invitation has a value for you. It is the beating inside your heart. Not to reject your family, not rejecting. It includes everything. But it is loyal and focuses only upon its own self, the imperishable self. It has created the perishable, and it's a beautiful law that matter presents itself as perishable, so that you may aspire for your true nature, which is imperishable. All of this is the divine activity, but it is a dream also. Does it mean we should reject it, curse it? No. At least, if it's a dream, be awake inside the dream. And awake means to be aware of the thing I'm pointing to right now. It is already there. You're not going to put it there. Nobody can help it. No one can improve it, because you cannot improve what is already perfect. You may only discover. You need not create. Our creative expression is part of the fun of consciousness, to be creative. As a joy. When you can observe without claiming, without holding, without owning, or if you feel ownership of something, at least you know it's playful. Somehow life is portraying this role. It is fine. I don't spend so much time talking about material existence or phenomenality. Only thing to point you back to your origin here. You may have to come to India or to America or to Caribbean or to England or to anywhere in Europe, but when you find it, it's here. It's always here. Yes.
Thank you, Muji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Much. You can see it. Sometimes I don't know when people will get this opportunity again. But unless you're going to the bathroom, I don't see how you can leave. I don't want to hold you, but your chance to understand what this is, to see what this is, unless your mind is driving you away and telling you, no, I can't be here. And for a while it is like that. Because the mind will never say to you, listen, I've troubled you enough. I'm going to have a break myself. You go and enjoy satsang without me. He's not going to say that. He does his job very well.
Namaste, Muji.
Namaste.
Thank you for everything. I really enjoying.
Thank you.
And this is first time I'm coming here.
Welcome.
And I have been listening you last 9-10 months on YouTube. And my search for truth for a long time. And when I started seeing you on YouTube,
Right.
then I realized this is the place where I am going to get my truth.
Yes.
So I don't have any questions. I don't have any doubts. I don't have anything.
Yes.
Just I want myself or my I to merge into I am or presence or consciousness and to get your blessings. That's all.
Good, good. Good, good. Then it's best place. It's the best place if
Thank
you've
you.
come for that.
Yes.
You've not come for 10 things. You come rightly for that, to be anchored in your own self,
Yes.
beyond any doubt or something.
Yeah. No.
Then I see no impediment at all. It has to reveal itself. Yes, if your attitude is like that, I feel it has to reveal itself.
Thank you.
Yes,
I just want your blessings if I
all have my blessings.
can I come there.
All have my blessings. Okay, come. Yes, yes. She say, no, I want to die before I die. Because I told you about this. I want to die before I die. This is a very good one. You see? Because the common man seeks every opportunity to live. But the seeker of truth looks for every opportunity to die to what is unreal and untrue, and to be resurrected as true life. Yes. Timeless life. This is what, isn't it? And how amazing it is that we are ourselves. That is our essence, you know. Essence is not some dream, it is our core self is this. And yet it seems that when we manifest as name and form, or through name and form, it is forgotten somehow. And other things take our interest for a time. And now you are returning home. Yeah. This is it.
I have got everything. I'm fully content.
Yes.
Only the spiritual path.
He says, I've got everything, I'm fully content, but just this is what I seek. Come, come. Yeah. Oh, very powerful hug.
I'm already out of my mind.
It is good.
Thank you. Thank you, Muji.
Thank you. Very good. Thank you. How are you? The time is moving very slowly today.
Namaste, Muji,
Namaste.
and pranam.
Pan.
So I attended the Zima retreat last year,
Yes, yes.
and ever since then, there has been a shift in perception of objects and forms. Sounds are heard, forms are seen, objects are perceived, including this form, in the backdrop of this gap, this limitless gap. And yesterday we were talking about the three birds. So, and you also talk about perceiving the perceiver. And in this equation, I don't exist. It's very clear that the I is not there. It's just the objects and forms and actions happening, and there's this limitless gap. But no, the sense of joy and love that you talk about, that's not there. And I don't know what is the third bird.
There is no third bird.
Okay.
There's the perceiving of the positions of first bird and second bird. But that which perceives them, which is perceiving them, and as I speak, you see, you should be right there, not up there. Don't go up here. as we are speaking, then this is immediate sadhana, actually. As I'm speaking, you should be able to follow here. And what is beautiful about this is that there's no theory about it. I'm not telling you go home and think about it. I'm saying, no, look and see. The immediacy, you see? Now, you said the first bird represents your active life in the world, with this body and your relationship to others and so on, and your sense of yourself and so on. That's the first bird, the sense of personhood. Then I said above this branch sits a bird, looks identical, no, in a way, but it's only looking. And this bird is not only looking at first bird, it's aware of the sky and the ocean and the movements and the sea and the traffic of movement. But it's also just observing. You see? And say, can you see where this corresponds to that dimension within yourself whereby you're only observing? Yes. It's not saying don't move, be very quiet. No. The stillness is not this stillness. It's not this stillness. This can go. The stillness is here. The stillness is inside the observer itself, the observing. And you see the actions can continue. You can continue doing your thing or sending your email, but it's inside a greater space of a kind of seeing, an intelligence that seems to be aware of that. And that seeing place, which announces itself in the body in the form I am. I am. I existence am. I spirit am. I am. Okay? So in the realm of the I am, you see. And then also one's apparent life, the life of a person moving about, is also, there's a harmony there. There's not a conflict. The seer doesn't go, look what you're doing so much. It's separate in some way, and yet it is also permeating that, but it's separate. Then in this space, one feels more content and peaceful. And naturally, if you are content and you feel peaceful and not caught up in the traffic of emotions and thinking and all of this projection, then you are much happier. You're happier, lighter in your being. You will not be miserable, you see. So there's a joy here. Even if there are reflexes and quick responses to things, they still happen in a space of silence. There's a stillness about them when you have come to the stage of presence. You see? And most beings, they love this state, to be in the state of presence. It's not chaotic, it's not fearful, and there's a natural joy, a liveliness about it. It doesn't matter, you can be sitting maybe in this state, in a certain body, it wants to just sit, and it's quite happy just to sit quietly. In another body, it's creative and doing many things still. Or it's talking and sharing something. Yes? We cannot categorize and say, this is how it looks. But if you're in the presence of presence, you find that it is quite contagious. The other beings begin to feel also more peaceful. They start to share in your light and the peace they've experienced for themselves. So, wow, I feel so peaceful, so happy. You see, like this. We love that state. It's the I love to be state. At a certain point, even presence itself becomes perceivable. That it is also a state or a stage of being. When that happens, if that should happen, one finds oneself as the unspeakable. soundless. There is no word to convey what this is. It's not that you're not able to speak, but speaking is happening in the sense of activities are happening, but at the same time, the consciousness is in its source itself. Now, I don't want to say how that will look. It has no particular look. But it is free of sorrow and pain. But it has feeling for the world. It doesn't go, oh, the world is unreal, doesn't exist, go away, Surprisingly, knowing that the world is transient, still it pours out its love. The world is its child even. It takes care of it as much as it is meant to chew a particular form. It is doing that. But you're home. Home beyond the concept of home. This is the true realization of the self. You may find one who is sitting in a chair every day, whose eyes are empty or something. You may say, this is a true Mahatma, this is a true Jnani. But there is no particular way it should look. It can manifest in any way. But it has somehow the power that you will somehow experience the darshan of that space. And it is our nature, I cannot see one being, I can say, oh, this one is not that nature. In everyone it is there. It's a question only of how much saturation there is, how much depth there is to the identity as a person that will seem to hide it from its own intuitive recognition of its own source being. That may occur for a time. But you're very coming here and sitting through it. Not everyone can come and stay here. Some people come and they can't stay here because the mind is too influential for them. And if we are living under the hypnosis of conditioning, then maybe not just the words that are spoken, but the intensity of this kind of environment, some people will not be able to stay for now. Are they cursed? Not at all. They are the self, just the same. But for the time being, they are suffering too much molestation from the mind. Maybe they even believe their mind, because that's another big delusion. We believe that what our mind is saying is true. This can happen, you see. But gradually you come to see it. You come to see the difference between yourself and your mind. That is one of the first great steps. And gradually from there, you can see where the mind is useful for practical, because you can say, all this is mind also. But it's more the psychological expression of mind, which I will call the earth mind, with the earth body. That if we're going to live only in the earth mind, earth body, then your life is only concerned about material things and emotional things and very unstable. You love this one, I love you, so next minute you don't love another one, I love you, you're not stable. You see. And you'll feel, I don't trust anybody, but you yourself cannot be trusted also. This is the nature of egoic condition and conditioning. As you move again you are somehow returning the recovering consciousness, meaning that you're waking up to, wow, I am not my mind. I am not my thoughts. But somehow the thoughts are growing because of my attention. and interest with them, then the dynamics change. And it will change somehow. You don't have to always be thinking about it. Even as you're sitting or sleeping, it is changing because your energy field is changing. And maybe for a while you don't feel any joy. Do you feel sorrow?
No.
No, you don't feel something. Then the mind comes, why I don't feel? I look on my checklist, says consciousness, okay, consciousness is there. And peace, yeah, peace is there, and so on, you know?
Okay.
And the sense of, limitlessness, yeah, limitlessness is there. Yeah. But love, no, don't love. I must talk to Moji about that one.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. You come and gradually somehow it's a natural state. We don't know why it's playing a little like this, but it's nothing. It will go.
Thank you, Muji. It's still okay to be fearful of the street dogs because I'm still scared of the dogs on the street.
What you're afraid is going to happen.
I don't know, stray dogs. I'm always scared of the dogs.
Yes, it can happen. That they may come and what? Bite you or pee on your leg or something?
Probably.
Don't cherish that feeling too strongly, and just keep focusing on the beingness. Stay with the beingness, so that you somehow your house is always clean of any anxiety, and just go, just walk, and do it today also.
Oh.
When
I'll try.
when you see them, because they're very intuitive, they're.
Thank you, Muji.
Thank you. Come. Maybe this come through here first, and then you can choose which way to go.
Oh my God. Muji, I don't know how many lives it took for me to come until this point. I identify some resistance when I'm here.
Yes, resistance. Come.
Resistance.
Yes.
I'm nervous. And I don't want to let this resistance win this time.
Yes.
So some power, I don't know from where, came like a fire in me when I was sitting there. It was hot. I thought I would pass or I would stand and talk to you. Maybe I'm a little bit crazy, but I believe right here and right now is the moment for me.
Yes.
Can you help me?
Yes. When I spoke before, Did you follow what I was saying? Did you follow?
Yes, everything.
Where did it take you?
Exactly in the moment when I was thinking, I must leave, it's too hot, and I'm afraid of this bird.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, no, 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 no. This is resistance.
Yes.
I will stay. And at this moment, you said, people, you don't know when it's going to be your next opportunity to be here.
Yes.
So, except you want to go to the bathroom, please stay.
Yes.
This is a unique opportunity.
Yes.
And it was for me, I felt this.
Yes. It is good. Because this body has been diagnosed with diabetes and so on. And normally you have to go to the bathroom every half an hour, 40 minutes or so. Yesterday, we had satsang all day. Until what time would you finish? Until 5 o'clock from 10 o'clock. From 10 all the way 5 o'clock. And then went home and then satsang again without once going to the bathroom. And this is happening frequently. Sometimes I have to go. But very often I find that it doesn't happen. Once, just before coming also, I was doing something, we were going somewhere with Krishna, no? And we are driving, and so we have to go to meet these people, to meet Jairam on this place. We have to go. And we are going, and suddenly I think, no, I have to go to the bathroom. No? So you turn the buggy around, other way, going up the hill. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to make it. And then just at halfway up the hill, I saw one local lady came. And I saw her, and immediately my heart went to her and stopped the car, stop. I came out, Amma, how are you? Come, come. And then what happened? Don't go to the toilet for 4 hours. Sitting, having satsang and everything like this. How it happened? Because some power is there. The body sometimes in its own physicality is not so strong. But some other power is there. The earth body is not so strong. The heaven body is very strong. And it makes everything possible. How it could be otherwise? You're dying, bursting to go to the toilet, and then suddenly, ping, change. 4 hours later, sitting, forget all about it. You don't want to go to the toilet? Sorry, who? Yeah. Later. Like this. Don't feel that somehow your life is driven by your little circumstances, like you say. These things are acting like resistance or distraction. But your higher choice was, I have to be free. So then what happened is that those things, they drop down. Because two kings cannot sit on the same throne. Whoever you chose in your heart, that one will ascend and the other one will descend. And like this you are moving. You become freedom as soon as you choose freedom. You embody freedom. Don't listen to what your mind has to say about it. There's a silence in you, a peace, a space in you that the mind cannot invade, cannot come there. The altitude is too high. He cannot breathe at that altitude. He will not come there. You have to come to a lower altitude you have to go down again into his region, then he can molest you. You have to live in the state above the mind. And it is natural for you. You have the advantage because you are already the self. Only while we forget, you come under the sway of the deceiver, you see. And it can try to play tricks on you. In a way, he's part of the game, an important part, because he can only attack you when you become personal. And this is a clue. If you find that you're being troubled by your mind, because he's got you to be personal. He's caught one of your person buttons. Press a button. And it's quite working. Yeah. When you see this and you observe these things, you move out of that region like that. The power of consciousness. Yeah? As the days unfold, these things will become increasingly clear for you. Take something at least from every satsang. At a certain point, this life becomes observed. This body mind is a bit like a puppet in a way. We don't like this because we like to feel, no, I have autonomy, I can decide what I want to do. That's how the puppet works, you see, as well too. You know? But you can only really see and enjoy this when you're in the state of consciousness. Then you see, actually, it works very well. I'm there too. It's not like it's not a wooden puppet. It's quite an organic puppet. But something feels, yes, consciousness is in it too. But when you are depending upon the movement of the body-mind, it might seem very, very important to be in control. But when you are seeing from the place of consciousness, you see everything is working by a higher order, a greater harmony holds even apparent disharmony. And something relaxes in that. You trust it. And so you can move knowing that everything is an expression of consciousness. Nothing is hidden from consciousness. Very good. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Will we have some music today? And
walk on this earth, helping anybody who is left behind. It is you, this white fire inside, where the demons die, where the freedom lies. Whether day or night, whether smile or cry, whether left or right, it is always you. It is you whom I've searched for so long without turning my eyes inside. And now that you're here in your light divine, that thousands of suns they couldn't shine so bright. The thousands of suns they couldn't shine so bright. Praise to my Father who dwells in the heavens and in all our hearts. Glory to His Spirit that give wings to our hearts, make it fly high above. Praise to the music that comes out of His mouth and put an end to our sleep. Praise to my Heavenly Father, of whom the mere sight turns the arrogant humble. Praise to His lotus feet that whatever they touch, they make it pure. That wherever they step, that soil is eternally blessed. Praise to my gracious Father who came on this earth. He came wearing nothing but one piece of cloth, not for Himself but to wipe all our tears. Praise to the most humble King who came on this earth just to carry us home, to remind us that we can forget of ourselves without losing Him. I don't know what is God, I don't know what is true, just replace me with you. It is you, the one without which all I'm left with is ignorance. It is you, it's inside your eyes, the love and joy that money cannot buy. It is you that make it all divine. Even my worst mistakes, once at your feet they shine. It is you. It is you who remove all my doubts and replace them with faith. It is you, the love that never fades, the reason to smile even if I fail. The reason to smile even if I fail. Praise to my Father who dwells in the heavens and in all our hearts. Glory to His Spirit that give wings to our hearts, make it fly high above. Praise to the music that comes out of His mouth and put an end to our sleep. Praise to my Heavenly Father, of whom the mere sight turns the arrogant humble. Praise to His lotus feet that whatever they touch, they make it pure. That wherever they step, that soil is eternally blessed. Praise to my gracious Father who came on this earth. He came wearing nothing but one piece of cloth, not for Himself but to wipe all our tears. Praise to the most humble King who came on this earth Father, Shri Mujhe. Praise to my Father, Shri Mujhe. Let us call him Shiva, Mahadeva. Shiva, Lord Mahadeva, the greatest of all. Praise to my Father, whose love surpasses all beauty. Praise to my Father, whose love surpasses all blessings. Praise to my Father, Shri Mujhe. Shiva, Lord Mahadeva, the great